everybody, it's Jen in the kitchen. Today I am going to make a spring risotto. This is an Ina Garden recipe. It's an old favorite in my house. I'm kind of excited to make it. I haven't made it in a while. It is in this cookbook. I'm sure you could find it online as well. But this cookbook has got so many of my favorite recipes in it. It's my good old standby. We've got leeks in here, some wine, some mascarpone cheese, some Parmesan cheese, asparagus, peas. It's really lovely. I already have some water starting to bubble over here because I'm going to have to blanch that asparagus. I've got 4 cups of chicken stock warming up, and I have started to saute my 3 cups of leeks. And you could add fennel in here if you like. Fennel isn't my favorite, so I just leave it out. In a pan with a tablespoon and a half of olive oil and a tablespoon and a half of butter. So we're off to a good start. So we're going to saute this for 5 to 7 minutes till they get soft. You're going to want to rinse your leeks really well because they get sandy, and so you really want to take some time when you're cutting them up, put them in a strainer, poke your fingers through the middle of them to get those circles separated and any sand that might be lurking around out of the equation. I love risotto. It's kind of like a grown-up macaroni and cheese. This has got a little wine in it, little lemon. I'm going to get my mascarpone cheese out. I actually bought mascarpone cheese because I was going to make this cake that I saw, and it called for mascarpone. And then I read the reviews on the cake, and nobody liked it. So then I had mascarpone cheese. So you get risotto. I'm gonna get my peas too. Found my peas. Okay. We're going to crack open this wine because that's going in next. And we are going to put 2/3 of a cup of wine in there. I find risotto is a fun thing to make if you're having people over, like for a casual dinner, and you're all going to be hanging out in the kitchen. Because there's a lot of stirring and kind of waiting. You're adding the warm chicken stock to the risotto and stirring it and waiting for it to absorb and get all thick and wonderful. And everybody's standing around in the kitchen, having a glass of wine, talking, making risotto. That's one of my favorite things to do. But today, I'm standing alone in my kitchen. With Stevie and you. Nobody else is hanging out in the kitchen with me today. Okay, we're going to give this a few more minutes. Next thing we're going to do is add the arborio rice, which is the risotto, and we are going to add 1.5 cups of that. We're going to add it to our pan and cover it with the butter and oil. stir that around. Get that all coated. And then we're going to add our white wine, and that calls for 2/3 of a cup. Whatever you want to have to drink with your risotto is fine. I'm using some simi here. And we're going to let that rice absorb the wine, and we're going to simmer that over a low heat. Not too low though. I find that they ask for it a little too low and then it just goes on forever. So we're going to let that absorb, and we're going to stir it constantly until that is all absorbed into our rice. And then we're going to add 2 ladles at a time of the chicken stock to our, I'm going to say a cup is probably 2 ladles. I'm not really sure. Maybe a little bit more. And we're going to continue to stir. Stirring constantly. We're going to add another ladle of the simmering broth. And we're also going to throw a little salt in our water that we have heating up and blanch our asparagus while we're waiting. So I'm going to throw a little salt in there. We'll crank that heat up. All right. Oh yeah, it's boiling. We're going to grab our asparagus spears, which I cut diagonally 1.5 inch long asparagus spears, and we're just going to blanch it, so just for like 2 or 3 minutes. And then we're going to plunge it in some ice water so it stops going, and we're going to constantly stir risotto while we're doing all that. Now if you're using fresh peas, you would blanch those as well, but I'm using frozen peas, so I'm good with that. Let's see, 5:39. 2 or 3 minutes. Actually, it says 4 or 5 minutes. Okay, we'll go with 4 or 5 minutes. And this will start to absorb and get a little heavier. I find this is all you need for dinner, but you could serve it as a side dish. Another ladle or 2. Can already see the starch in the rice kind of making the sauce a little thicker. That's a good sign. Constantly stirring. We're going to drain our asparagus. I'm going to put this right back in this pot with some cold water to stop the cooking process. You don't want mushy asparagus in there, right? Oh, back to this. Not forgetting to constantly stir. And another couple of ladles. Okay, our risotto has been cooking at least for about 15 minutes. So we're going to add our asparagus, which has been cooling off here in the ice water. And we're going to also add our peas, 10 ounces. Ooh, 16 ounces. I think that's good. You can't have too many veggies. That's what I always say. And we're also going to put in from 2 lemons. Now you have to get another lemon. Pretty. It's all green and springy. All right, so we'll zest these 2 lemons right in here. That's just going to give it a nice bright flavor. And there's going to be some lemon juice in there too. So those lemons will not go to waste by any means. Ow. Microplaned my finger. Hate when that happens. Apparently I'm an aggressive microplaner. Trying to constantly stir and microplane a lemon is proving to be a challenge. Okay, and salt and pepper. We're going to want 2 teaspoons of salt and 1 teaspoon of pepper. Okay. We're going to keep stirring this and keep adding our chicken stock as it's absorbed. And what we're going to add together in a little bowl, some some mascarpone cheese and some lemon juice. So tablespoons, sorry. So I'm gonna call that a lemon. Get the seeds out of there. If you turn the lemon towards you, you avoid getting the seeds in your bowl, at least some of the times. I shouldn't be doing this over my beloved cookbook. There we go. Give this a stir. Things are happening fast now. Okay, and we're going to do 1/3 of a cup of mascarpone cheese. It's going in the bowl with the 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, freshly squozen, and you will have that because you have just microplaned your lemons for zest. All right, so we're going to do 1/3 of a cup of that, and we're going to add it right to our lemon juice. Not forgetting to constantly stir our risotto. I'm going to taste this risotto and see how cooked it is. Just about there. We're going to let this last chicken stock absorb a little bit more. Now we're going to turn off the heat, pull it off the heat, and we're going to incorporate our mascarpone lemon juice mixture. Want all that goodness in there. And I think we're throwing in our Parmesan cheese, which I have previously shredded. And it also wants 3 tablespoons of chives, and I happen to have some fresh chives out in my garden. So, one moment please, I'm back. I just grabbed some fresh chives from my garden, and we're gonna cut about 3 tablespoons of chives in there. I already used chives from my garden this morning when I was making potatoes galette. Good thing they grow fast. Okay, we're gonna stir this up. That cheese will get all melty. It was definitely worth all the stirring. Let me get a bowl. Little extra cheese, and here it is. Oh, it's kind of bright there. I'll take a picture of it so you can see it better. So, thanks for watching. Enjoy your risotto. If you're making it, I highly recommend making it. Everybody loves it. And I'll see you later. Have a great day. Bon appetit.